Yo, what's up? We're back with another episode of the No Money Spent. So for today, we completed a couple programs, mainly the egg hunt program. So we'll go over that if you guys haven't completed it yet, but we'll still go over it either way. And then we also did the next part of the April Player of the Month, as well as some other content. So let's get started with, I guess, the egg hunt program, because that was the main thing that just dropped. And the main reward for this was an 89 Jazz Chisholm. So it's not a bad looking card. You know, he's pretty good against righties, lefties, not bad, but he does have good defense, good speed. So we'll probably have him at second or third. I don't know if he's necessarily better than Jackie Robinson, who also just dropped, who also was a second baseman, but we'll definitely have him in the lineup because I feel like he has a pretty solid swing. You know, you also get a deluxe egg hunt pack. So we'll have a chance at getting another diamond, actually 2 diamonds, because you get another one of these in the conquest board. But we'll see what we get out of these. I'll go over these cards afterwards. Some packs, some XP. You get an 88 Riley Green card, which looks really good against righties. You get Logan O'Hoppe, solid looking catcher, you know, good power numbers. Doesn't really have clutch though, which I would say is pretty important, but he's not bad. And then you have Joe Boyle for a starting pitcher. Fastball, slider, curveball, sweeper. I don't know if that pitch repertoire is good enough for me, but his per nines on paper don't look that bad. But those are the rewards that you get. And then as far as completing this program, there's a lot of different things you have to do. The main thing for like the egg hunt program is chasing these different eggs throughout different modes. And then there's also mystery missions. But just to start off, the best way to do it is the moments. So you actually want to do all these moments because doing all, I don't know how many there are, maybe 10 moments, you do get an egg, which will help you for the collection. So we ended up getting that. And then mystery missions, this is where you have to play in multiple different modes to complete these. So just going over these, if I can remember them off the top of my head, you got to get a quality start for so that is trivia night, and that is with Vita Blue. So for this, you have to use any Vita Blue card. There is, I believe, a common card from the Royals, and then whatever that one was, I think it's in this program right here, actually. The common courtesy. So you would have this Vita Blue card or the Vita Blue from the collection right here, which would turn into the A's version. So use one of those Vita Blue cards, and you got to get a quality start in a 9-inning game. So play versus CPU, a quality start is 6 innings pitched at the minimum, and then you would get that. Now the next thing is get a win. I think this is with any Randy Johnson card. So you can do this in Conquest or mini seasons or play versus CPU, I guess, which I wouldn't do that, but you definitely would want to do it in Conquest or mini seasons. I'll kind of show you, I'll explain how I did everything afterwards. Next thing you have is whoa there, slow down, and that's get a double with, I don't actually know what the number is. I don't even think I used David Ortiz. I had David Ortiz in my lineup, but I think I did it with like Salvador Perez. So I think the number is someone with under 15 speed, but I don't actually know what the number is, but it's someone that's slow as far as like their speed goes. So a lot of these you can kind of bunch together, and I'll explain how. Next thing is Swordfish. So this is striking out with Mike Trout. So just put them in your lineup. You can get one of them from the Team Affinity. There's a silver card you can get. So if you've been up to date with Team Affinity, that's an easy way to get this part done. And then next is tax season. So you got to get 2 holds, and this is in mini seasons. So a hold, pretty simple. What you can do with mini seasons is get the lead in the first inning. You know, it's kind of like a save situation before a save situation. So you can't be winning by more than 3 runs. But if you have like a 1 or 2 run lead in the second inning, just use 2 different pitchers and take them out. So bring in a pitcher, get one out, bring in the next pitcher, get one out, bring in another pitcher, and then you can kind of finish the game with that third one. But a hold is basically like a pre-save situation. So it has to be under 3 runs, and just getting an out will get the hold for you. But again, that has to be done in many seasons. And the next thing is Let's Roll. So that's getting 6 hits in Diamond Quest. So it depends what difficulty you play on, but this could be pretty simple. I got it on Legend difficulty, but if you want to just hop in there and do it on rookie, pretty simple to get 6 hits. Next thing is Big Conquest Mystery. So this is to get a save with a left-handed pitcher. Again, 3-inning game, just have to have a less than 3-run lead going into the 2nd or 3rd inning, and just use that pitcher for an inning or 2 to get the save. And then the last thing is a sack hit in mini seasons. So basically, if you get a base hit, you can bunt them over for the sack hit. So like I said, you're able to bunch some of these together. Now, the way I did this is we kind of did like I said, in bunches. So for a quality start, we did Vita Blue, and while we did that, we filled our team up with players that are kind of slow so we can get the double. So we knocked those 2 in one game. Now, if you don't get the doubles for whatever reason in that 9-inning game, you can just do like a play versus CPU, pick a stadium, go away, and just try to hit a double and just quit out and just keep repeating that first inning until you're able to get it done. Next thing we did was I think we did this in mini seasons. So with Randy Johnson, we had him in the lineup. We had Mike Trout in the lineup, so we struck out with him, and then we were able to get the 2 holds in mini seasons and get the sack hit. So we did 4 of them in one mini seasons game. And then the last thing I think is Conquest. Yeah, Conquest would be to get the save. Just play a Conquest game. You have to do Conquest either way to get some of the eggs. And, there's a new board anyway, so it's going to unlock you a new card. And then the last thing is 6 hits in Diamond Quest, which also has eggs to get. So again, you can bunch a lot of these together, but those are those mystery missions. And then for the collection right here, there's 5 eggs that I think are easier to get. They're offline eggs. So I don't know what the colors are. I know the purple one is doing all 10 moments. And then 2 of these are from the Diamond Quest. And then the other 2 are from the Conquest board, just beating the, if it's Diamond Quest, the stadium games, or if it's Conquest, the strongholds. So those are those 5. The other 2 are multiplayer ones, which I don't know technically what they are, but we've kept this offline, so we were able to get it done that way. So that is pretty much how to complete this program. Now, next thing we did, and we'll go back to that a little bit, but next thing we also did was the April Spotlight for Drop 3. So Kyron Paris is this main reward, and honestly, another good second baseman. Maybe even better than Jazz Chisholm, to be honest. Overall, good hitting attributes, has 100 clutch, also has good defense and speed. You also get Yastrzemski, pretty good against righties and has good clutch. And then you got Gage Workman, which not a bad card, but also not great. Just good contact versus righties and good clutch, but he doesn't have good defense and speed. For these moments, definitely go through all of these. And then you have the drop 3 missions. So you have to get 1,000 parallel XP with drop 3 players. So basically these 2 guys right here. And I guess if you like open up packs from the store, you would have some beforehand, but we don't do that. We just use these 2 guys. And with those 2, we had to get 350 parallel XP with each of them. And then you also have Trent Grisham from the drop 2 that you had to get some parallel XP with. But these 3, these 2 mainly, you have to get 1,000 in total to pretty much top this off. And then we did 2 of the stat missions, so 7 extra base hits and 15 total bases. And I think that was it to complete that program. So again, this one we did it while we were doing Conquest, and maybe even in Diamond Quest, because we were doing we did a few Diamond Quests to try to get some progress. Next thing we have for single player stuff is, we'll just go over the Conquest. So yeah, the green, I think what was that? The red and yellow? I didn't even see it. I think it was the red and yellow. Yeah, yellow and red eggs are from this board right here. But by also completing this board, you get Anthony Volpe. So he has good contact numbers and good defense and speed. That's kind of it for him. But he'll fit into our Yankee themed build whenever we do that. You also get some good XP, some headliners, but there is 4 games here. And then there also is a Egg Hunt Deluxe pack. I think it's around up here somewhere. So you definitely want to do this because they'll be able to get you another diamond for free. So that's not bad, but you also get 2 eggs and Volpe. So you definitely want to do this. You pretty much have to do this, I feel like, if you want to complete the egg hunt program, especially if you want to do it offline. But we did that. And then next thing is Diamond Quest. So Diamond Quest, you play this one to get the green egg and the blue egg, but there's also two other players that you can get, Ricky Henderson and Lucas Urseg. So for this one was kind of rough for us. We actually did this a few times, and I think I failed like 2 or 3 times. I think my game just froze too, which happens way too much. So let's close that off really quick. All right, so this is the board for the Diamond Quest. Now, as I was saying, we probably did this like 3 or 4 times, and every time I played a stadium game, we got finessed so hard. Like the most unfortunate stuff happened, so we ended up losing a few times. But if you do complete this, you'll get the green egg and then the blue egg. Now, as far as the rewards I got, I don't even know if I took a screenshot of this, but I didn't get Urseg. And I think I played that game on Hall of Fame. I'm not sure what the percentage might have been. It might have been around 60%. But I did get Ricky Henderson, and I played that game on Legend. So, yeah. Rewards, we'll definitely play through this again so we can get this Urseg card. But for right now, we got Ricky Henderson, which I don't think is necessarily bad. Now, going back to other Diamond Quest, I was trying to get some of the cards that I haven't gotten. So for this board, for example, we went ahead and did it again because the first time I did it, I did not get McClanahan. I only got Rizzo. So I decided to run this back, and we did end up getting McClanahan. So that was kind of nice. And then since we already did this, we ended up just doing the Rizzo one, that stadium game, and we got him again also. So that one was kind of interesting because I played that on an All-Star, and I wasn't really expecting to get him. I was just doing it to get the ball in as a habit pack and to finish off the board. But we were able to get McClanahan, which was kind of the point of repeating this. Now, I also tried to do another Diamond Quest, and that was, I think, this one. Yeah, for this one, we need Bryson Stott. And I feel like a lot of times, you know, if you obviously don't get the reward, it's just a waste of time because doing these take like an hour. But we went after Bryson Stott. I think I played it on Hall of Fame, maybe Legend, probably Hall of Fame, and won the game, didn't get him. So at that point, I was like, yeah, I don't want to play this anymore. I'm going to just take the rewards I have. So we didn't even try to get a duplicate crochet card, which I guess in retrospect we could have. And then if I did get him, I could have just sold him and got some extra stubs. But we'll have to run this again for Stott, even though he's not really that expensive. But if a card is free to get, we might as well get him for free instead of spending the extra stubs. You know what I mean? So we weren't able to get it that time, but that's kind of what we were doing offline. So we did a lot of that. Now, while doing that, we actually made a lot of progress with Team Affinity. So, you know, we were doing Conquest. We had at least one mini season game to do, and then a whole lot of Diamond Quest stuff. So we got a lot of progress with Team Affinity to the point where I think I actually got all 30 of them now. I think I actually have all 30 Team Affinity cards. So now we just kind of have to get the parallel one with it, like the 500 XP. But yeah, now we have all 30 of the Team Affinity cards, which is not bad. You know, we kind of did it passively. We didn't really rush to get this done, but we were, you know, making progress while doing other programs and other content. So it made it a little bit easier. And that's kind of where we're at right now. So with that said, we do got some packs to open up from everything that we played. We got 47 show packs, which we'll see if today's the day. You know, the pack luck has been really poor for us, but with 47 show packs, there is a lot there. Maybe we finally hit a diamond in one of those again. We got 9 ballin' as a habit packs. We have 7 silver packs, 1 jumbo player item pack. So this one could be pretty nice. We have 3 headliners, 2 egg hunt packs. So that's 2 guaranteed diamonds, and the April spotlight for drop 3. So really quick, let me just get the packs out of these to see what they're going to end up being. But good amount of packs, you know, hoping for some diamonds. We have at least 3 guaranteed diamonds, I believe, but we're not here for the guarantees. We're here for the extra diamonds. So I guess we'll see what we get out of all that. We also had bronze packs from Diamond Quest, but I just opened those up because You know, there's no chance at a diamond in those. If there was a chance at a diamond, I would have hold on to it. The silver ones have a chance at a diamond. Obviously, it's kind of rare to hit, but you know, at least if we do, we want to show it off for the excitement. But a couple silvers right here, which is expensive, which is expected. We did it a gold though, so I guess that wasn't that bad for a silver pack. Silver right there. What are the odds? 1 in 50 for a diamond. So basically the same as a show pack. That's basically what it is. But nothing right there. So I guess next we'll go to the show packs. As always, you know, we got 47 of these. If we strike a diamond, we'll show it off. If not, just know the show pack drought is continuing. But let's get into these packs. It finally happened. We hit a diamond in our show pack. Just give me someone we don't have. That's all I'm asking for. We need shortstop, right field, relief pitcher. I mean, are we excited for that? Are we excited for an egg hunt player in our show pack? I don't really know. It's not a bad card though. He doesn't look bad. He goes for some stubs. We can definitely use a bullpen. We actually need these cards for collections, so we'll accept it. We'll accept it, but I need live series diamonds. All right, final show pack. Let's see if we hit a diamond in this last pack right here, and we do not. So I guess at the very minimum, the show pack drought is over, but still 1 diamond in those packs, not that great. We got pack 1 headliner, chance at Tanner Hook, which again is a card we have. We don't want, but we get a gold. Pack 4, David Robertson. Also, my headliner pack luck has been pretty piss also. Pretty piss poor also. Pack 6, I don't even know who's in that pack, but doesn't matter. We got Riley Green. Next thing, let's just go jumbo. Let's go with the jumbo. Hopefully we can maybe get a diamond in one of these. Let's see, at least we got a gold. Let's just go like this. Wow, no diamond. No diamond is crazy. A lot of commons. We only got 1 gold, it looks like. Yeah, only 1 gold, not even that great. That's why we opened that up first. Ballin' is a habit pack, 1 in 15 odds. We got 9 packs. Will be nice to hit here because we need some diamonds. We get a gold right there. Nothing that great, but as we're opening these up, let me know what you guys thought about the egg hunt program and if you guys completed it. Also, if you guys have had better pack luck than me the last few days, because our last few pack openings have been really bad for us, you know, as far as like how many packs we were able to get and what we pulled out of them. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. You know, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. We're just on a very, very cold streak as of right now. You know, anything can change in these last 3 packs, but they have not been good. Would like a diamond in these last 2, that's for sure. No diamond. Last ball in is a habit pack for us. And do we see anything good? All right, we did get a diamond. We do get a diamond. Make it big. Make it big. Closing picture again. Did I just get a dupe? Oh, Mason Miller. I mean, it is a dupe. We do have Mason Miller. He's not really a bad diamond pool because he does go for a good amount of stubs. So I guess we'll take it. We'll take that 21K or whatever it goes for. Yeah, 23,235. We can put that up. 23,235. So we'll take that 23K after tax, maybe like 21K. We can definitely use that to just build up our stub count, and you know, whatever happens happens. But April spotlight, I probably should have checked who's in this pack beforehand. I think there's like Hunter Green and someone else, so it would be nice to pack the actual spotlight and not a tops now. But I guess we would need, I don't think second baseman does it. Yeah, so we get a second baseman. I mean, we don't really need tops now cards, I don't think, for like future collections. We mainly would need the spotlight cards. So just kind of a cheap card to get, but we'll still hold on to it. Now we have the egg hunt cards, so there's a lot going on here. A lot of cards. We'll start with the main guy, which is Polanco. And I feel like they basically threw in like a chase card in a pack like this. Like, he's technically the chase card for this pack. But going from the beginning, I'm not gonna go over all of these cards, but I was taking a look at them. I was looking at them beforehand, and honestly, a lot of them don't really look that good. You know, like cards I would prefer, or I would probably put on my team, Joe Torre's 1. Brandon Webb kind of looks okay. Rod Carew, really like this card. If he was a second baseman, he probably would have been my second baseman, to be honest. I don't know if I have room for him at first, but I feel like cards with high contact, he also has high clutch, are very, very good. You know, I almost prefer that than cards with like power. He's still going to hit home runs, I believe, even with those low power numbers. Oliva, kind of for me. Jeffrey Springs, you know, lefty, kind of a junk pitcher, you know, doesn't have high velocity, just a lot of off-speed stuff. Then you have Soto, which we actually packed. Good hit per 9, pitching clutch isn't bad. Lefty, you know, he's definitely usable. You know, got a solid pitcher repertoire. You got Jelly right here. We also just sold that Mason Miller. But this card, a good control, sinker, knuckle curve cutter is, you know, not a lot going on with a bullpen guy, but it's there. Rosario right here, good power numbers versus lefties. Brash looks pretty solid for a closing pitcher. You know, a bullpen guy, good pitch repertoire, I would say. So he's one I would go after. You got, or who I would like, Pascatino right here. Good clutch. Actually, that clutch is really nice. 125 clutch. So with runners in scoring position, he will be nasty. You know, maybe just having him off the bench would be a viable option. So he's not bad. Langoliers right here, good power numbers, but nothing really crazy. Wade Boggs, great contact numbers, got the clutch. Third base, definitely a usable card, I would say. And then Edward Cabrera used to be a beast a few MLB the shows ago. Hit per 9 and K per 9 numbers are pretty solid, got good clutch. The pitch repertoire is there, so he could be solid this year. And then you got Jason Bay, great clutch numbers, good power. He actually is, I would say, a solid card, you know, especially with runners in scoring position. You got Swanson, good contact versus lefties, good defense. That's about it. Tim Raines, great contact numbers, great speed. Honestly, he's someone that also plays second base too, right? In other games, if he was a second baseman, he would be my starter. If I get him, he might be my starting left fielder too, because Tim Raines, I feel like, has one of those swings where I always do well with him. So I don't mind this card. He's probably, him or like Rod Carew are probably like my favorites in this set. So we got 2 of these packs. We got one from the program, one from Conquest. Let's see what we get. You know, if we get Polanco, that would be great also, because that's a lot of stuff, or a lot of stubs. But we get a relief pitcher. We got Sean Helly. I don't know how to say his name, but he looks like a beast. You know, he just looks like a beast. He's like 6'7", or 6'11". That's crazy. I don't know if this card's that good though. You know, I don't know if I would throw him in the bullpen, but we got him, so we might just hold on to him. Let's see what we get in this second pack. We got to stop getting closing pitchers and bullpen guys too. I just got the same guy. That is crazy. That is crazy that we get the same player back to back. We got all these players to get, and we get the same one back to back. That's my pack look. That's how bad it is right now, that we are literally getting duplicates out of like a choice of 15. Wild. Really quick XP reward path. We're at 300k, 301. So really close to a boss pack. Josh Gibson definitely helps for the Negro Leagues collection, but Griffey's my guy, so we probably take Griffey if we get this in the next few days. Other than that, you know, we really just have ranked seasons to do. I think we're pretty much done with the offline grind and stuff like that. So it just pretty much comes down to hitting World Series again. As far as these collection goes, how many do we have right now? We have 8. I mean, do we just collect the 8 right now? I mean, I don't really need to sell Ricky Henderson. You're already a no sell. I mean, we'll probably end up just keeping you, right? We're going to keep these cards either way. I don't know how many cards there are. Let me see really quick. There is 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. So yeah, there's 30 cards. You're going to have to pretty much omit 3 of them or 2 of them. Yeah, I mean, we can just lock these guys in, because we're going to keep Ricky Henderson. So you got him for free, right? We might as well just lock whatever we have in. And that's going to get us Pete Crow Armstrong, which honestly is an interesting card, because hitting wise, he's terrible. But then you have just the best defender in the game. you know, 99 defense, 99 speed. I mean, if you want to just drag bunt with him, he could be pretty nice. 99 bunt also. So just a very interesting card because hitting wise, he is terrible, but then everything else he's godly at. So he could also just be a defensive sub. I really don't know. So we'll have to figure that out. But Ryan McMahon is the other option, which this card looks pretty good. You know, can play third and second base. And then Jacob deGrom is the collection reward, which eventually we will get to him. When has he ever thrown a slurve? Is this like the first time he's had a slurve in his cards or on his cards? I don't ever remember him having a slurve, but yeah, if he had a sinker, this card would be crazy. So we'll try to get Jacob deGrom at some point. It's not in our future right now. I'll tell you that much. And then for this one, you know, we're trying to get John Donaldson too. So 2 programs we're working on, but as of right now, you know, we have a couple of ways to go to get that done. And that is pretty much it. You know, packs, I wouldn't even say they were that great. You know, we packed 1 live series diamond. We got some egg hunts. We got some duplicates. So nothing that crazy, but that's our packs for today. That's our content that we completed for today. And like I said, we will be probably working on ranked seasons, you know, throughout this week because we're pretty much all caught up with the offline stuff. So again, let me know what you guys have been packing, what you guys have been working on. And until the next one, thank you guys for watching, and I'm out.